mental health. Brought to you by Barber Behavioral Health, a service of Barber National Institute.
We want to welcome in Erin Landini-Grogan. She's an outpatient therapist. It's part of For Your Mental Health, which we're trying to focus on all year long. But Erin, welcome back to First at 4.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We're talking about cultural perspectives on mental health and how that could possibly create a barrier in some cases.
Sure, absolutely. Our country, with its beautiful diversity, also has a lot of disparities. And that's mainly related to access to mental health services, which is often impacted by things such as geographical region, financial resources, and in some instances, things such as language barriers. So access, while we see mental health being widely discussed, access is still a struggle for many Americans.
Yeah. Do you also see it as a cultural barrier where in some families or cultures it's just not really accepted to reach out and ask for help or get really personal with somebody?
Sure. In many cultures and many families, mental health is a major taboo. And things such as suicide often is just simply not discussed. And so people tend to then kind of isolate, and oftentimes that will really make the symptoms more severe. So it is often a taboo for many cultures, and also generations before myself. Mental health was never discussed. So culture plays a huge part, and even cultural norms, how you interact with other people. Since the founding of our country, we've had so many beautiful and diverse cultures. However, every culture approaches mental health and healthcare in general in a very different way. So the one thing we often ask is about cultural norms and treatment. What is something that from your culture that can help me treat you better? Also to do the research as a therapist to understand that many cultures approach topics very differently. So to do that legwork to understand it.
Yeah, I would think that would be a big part from your side of the therapy in getting to know that patient a little bit more. That probably breaks down some comfort barriers too.
Absolutely. And my first question is never what's wrong. It's usually what happened to you, and tell me more about yourself.
I would imagine breaking that cycle within a family or within a culture could be extremely difficult.
Absolutely, because when someone approaches, whether it's our office or any other office for help, they may become ostracized from their families because families see it as them sharing the family secrets, or if there's a history of mental illness, they don't want that shared. But for those who share it, it's one of the most healing things they can do for their own mental health.
I would imagine for you, once someone reaches out, that is so important to even that first contact, right? I would think that's sometimes the hardest part is just that first act of reaching out.
Absolutely, and that's for anybody who's struggling with mental illness. That first step of saying to a friend, to someone they work with, I'm really struggling, and I don't know where to go. That first step changes everything for them.
And we've talked so much in this segment of the many places where you can go for help. Perhaps the Barber Behavioral Health Center is the place to start. The contact information is there on your screen. Erin, thanks so much for being with us
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.